today we have a leader in the hospitality industry software space, providing a game-changing solution for food allergic guests to be able to dine out more safely. Please welcome CertiStar President and CEO, Shandee Chernow. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me on, Zaina. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So Shandee, what exactly is CertiStar and how did it become something so great for you?
So CertiStar is a piece of software to help the hospitality industry. Basically what we do is we eliminate that kind of big, long, and stressful conversation around food allergies in restaurants. So right now, the average is somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes to have that conversation and figure out what someone who has a food allergy can safely eat at your restaurant. And we take that down to somewhere around a minute, which is great, right? So we're saving the restaurant time. We're saving the food allergy person that feeling of being stigmatized and kind of burdensome, if you will, even though they're not. And we're getting more accurate and more profitable orders for customers.
Yeah, so what exactly led you to create CertiStar? Did you have any food allergy problems yourself?
Yeah, so I'm allergic to peanuts, tree nuts, shellfish, all of which are very common, and then pork, which sucks, right? And they came on when I was 28, so adult onset allergies, which happens to 15% of food allergic people. And I've got a relatively uncommon combination. So going out to eat was a really big challenge for me. It continues to be a challenge for me at non-CertiStar venues. And so I really got tired of having those conversations and trying to keep myself safe and not, take over the entire conversation at the table or whatever. And so, that was the genesis of CertiStar.
So, I can relate, not 100%, but I don't eat pork. I'm allergic to tree nuts. And, you can imagine for me, when it comes to the fitness part of everything, I'm a really big gym rat, and there's so many things I can't have. I can't eat nuts. So there's protein in nuts. So every protein shake is almonds or something like that. And I can't, so I relate.
Well, and any fitness person, you ask, what's a good snack for me to have? It's almonds or, some other kind of nut or nut butter, nut milk, right?
Yeah.
And following any of those programs is really challenging when you have food allergies.
Hard.
What we do, we basically provide the restaurant's menu back to you, stoplight style. So green is go, right? Allergen friendly. Yellow is with modifications. So either cook it in a different piece of equipment or, remove a particular component, a sauce or a bun or whatever the case may be. And then red is, there's unsafe, nothing that we can do to fix that. I'm never going to be able to have, shrimp scampi or something like that, right?
Yeah, I completely understand. My parents actually have a shellfish allergy. And it's funny that you mentioned that it comes on later. I'm pretty close to 25. So I'm not, I know there's probably going to be some changes later on in life. Like my parents, they didn't have their shellfish allergy until they were later in their adulthood. And I'm nervous. But
it's a big misconception that food allergies are really just kind of a kid thing. It's not the case. It's 10.4% of the US population is food allergic with severe enough symptoms that the medical community agrees. So if you think about a restaurant or a hospitality establishment, 10% of the people in there are food allergic. And if you think about the number of parties there that affects, it's really a huge issue, and your table turn times end up being significantly slower when you're having those conversations. And those customers end up actually being on the lower end of profitability because you don't necessarily find them the most complex or expensive dishes on the menu, right?
Right. Now, when it comes to the software, how exactly does it truly make things easier on the operations staffs at the restaurant?
Yeah, so instead of going around, the way that it works right now, most of the time in a restaurant, when a customer says, I have a food allergy, we need to talk about it, some combination of the server, the manager, the chef, maybe another line cook in the kitchen gets involved. And there's a bit of a back and forth trying to figure out what it is that person can have. What we do is we make it a very fast, it takes about, somewhere between 5 and 30 seconds to run the search and present that individualized green, yellow, red menu. And then the guest can choose from all of the things on the menu that they can have. They get a complete set of options. And it's not coming from someone's brain in the middle of service. It's coming from a very fact-based, data-based place.
Right. And I'm sure that makes it a lot easier. So is it true that CertiStar can actually help restaurants keep more money in their pockets as well?
100%. So oftentimes you'll hear that people don't necessarily announce to the restaurant that they have a food allergy. And when they do that, they oftentimes will order something that's very simple, a side of rice or a side salad or a baked potato or something like that. It ends up not being a particularly profitable option for, for the restaurant, and it's keeping the average ticket price lower and the tip for the server lower in turn, right? So what we do is we allow someone to choose something from every category. So all of a sudden, a food allergy person can have an appetizer and an entree and a side and a cocktail. People don't think about drinks, and a dessert. Whereas at most establishments, they're not able to do that because you're spending so much time trying to figure out just one thing that you can have.
Yeah, I definitely think I would be much more comfortable at a restaurant that had a program like or CertiStar itself. I would make it so much more easier for people like you and I. It's so funny. I always have my friends or whomever I'm with do a test bite for me. Hey, there's this, like, if it's like a restaurant or if I'm even at an event that's serving food, hey, this looks really good. Can you test it? I don't really know like what meat it is. Can you just check it real quick? And I also don't, now that we're having this conversation, I'm starting to like see all the things that I deal with on a daily basis when it comes to having all these allergies. It's terrible. I'm glad that you were able to create something like this for people like us.
Yeah, it's a very stressful situation. And I think going back to the misconceptions that we were talking about before, people don't realize that it's literally every single time we put something, we consume food. Yeah. It's every day, it's every meal, it's every snack, and it's just a bit of a heavy burden. So anything that we can do to lighten that load and to ensure consistency on the service side.
Yes. So now, where can people learn more about CertiStar? How can they get signed up? It's like, because I need to see it at Fridays. I love it. That's my favorite restaurant. It's not my favorite restaurant, but it's my go-to restaurant. So I need
to tell the manager at Fridays all about it. Make sure that you let them know that you want them to use us. But they can find us online at certistar.com. Call us at 833-EAT-SAFE or any of the social media sites at CertiStar.
Awesome. I'm excited to see CertiStar blow up because I think people like myself and you, we don't get a lot of people advocating for us.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, we just get, here's the menu. If you have some any allergies, let us know and we'll see what we can do. But I don't think that's enough, No. So I'm very grateful.
Especially when you have an allergy outside of that list, right?
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for CertiStar. Again, I hope it blows up because I need it. I need it. I know a lot of people.
Both. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, Zaina. Thank you.
Thank you.